So I'm going to talk about my Heisman predictions for this college football season. I mean, it's been a wild season, man. A lot of canceled games, but a lot of great performances. So I'm going to start with Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is on the list. It goes from kind of lowest to highest chance, but Zach Wilson made the list though. He's a newcomer in the conversation. He's from BYU. And BYU had a fantastic season. I'm sure people criticize that their schedule is very weak, just playing a bunch of group of five teams. But what can he do? I mean, he's in an independent conference. He's an independent team, and he has no control over that. So it's not. He's just doing what he has to do, and he brought them to, I think, only a one-loss record. And it's crazy. He's very good, and he increased his draft stock by a lot. Then I will transition to Justin Fields. Going into the season, Justin Fields was my preseason pick for the Heisman. He's just very mobile, very athletic, good durability, and very efficient with the ball. He was looking like that. I mean, right now he has the highest completion percentage, and he's just real explosive too, and he can make plays happen. Sometimes I question his decision-making ability, but he's just been playing really good. But one bad game kind of ruined his chances of making this Heisman pick. It's unfortunate because Ohio State hasn't played a lot of games, so he doesn't get too many opportunities to shine. Trevor Lawrence is next on my list. He's projected to be the number one pick in the draft just because he's so poised and well polished as a quarterback. He can make those tight window throws. He's big. He's strong. He's like the next Andrew Luck coming into the draft. And Andrew Luck did pretty good until he retired. But you know what happened to Andrew Luck, though? He got drafted into a terrible team with a terrible line, and it caused him to retire early. And Trevor Lawrence may go into the draft, and he may get drafted into the Jets this season. And it may not look too pretty for him. Because here's the thing. Never expect a rookie quarterback to change a franchise. That is not his responsibility. His responsibility is to play the best ball game he can to try to win games. The franchise has to give him the support to do that. And an example I can say is I say great things about Joe Burrow with my episode Trevor, but the Bengals, they kind of stun his growth a little bit. As a result, he's now injured, and he could be out for a while. Trevor Lawrence isn't going to be the top Heisman pick. He just hasn't been super explosive, and he had his chance to have a Heisman moment against Notre Dame, but he had COVID, so he couldn't play that game. But he does get a chance to play Notre Dame for the ACC championship game. Then next is Kyle Trask. Kyle Trask had the Heisman in his hands until last night. Before last night, he was just so explosive. He could throw that ball, and he had such a great connection with the tight end Kyle Pitts. And he's leading the league in total touchdowns. He's put up Joe Burrow numbers from last year, and he won the Heisman. However, he just had a subpar performance against a depleted LSU team, and they lost the game. And so that kind of hurt it. I think that's going to hurt his chances of winning the Heisman. So before I get to my number one Heisman candidate, I want to say some honorable mentions. Mac Jones from Alabama. He's playing unbelievable ball as a first-year start for Alabama. Breece Hall from Iowa State. He's the best running back in the country right now. Ian Book had an outstanding career at Notre Dame, and he has a chance to take him to the college playoffs. And then Najee Harris, who I think is the second, no less than the third best running back in the country. So my number one pick for the Heisman would be Alabama wide receiver Devonta Smith. He is essentially the most valuable player in college football and hands down the best receiver. He's first in yards in the NCAA. He's second in TD and overall receptions. Wide receiver Jaden Waddle got injured in October, and people expected, well, since Waddle's out, they're going to be twice as much coverage on their next best target, Devonta Smith. Even with that extra coverage on him, he still progressed and played even better and stepped up for the missing person that's on their team. He has been so reliable to Mac Jones' success. That's what helped him get into the Heisman conversation. Smith has 550-yard-plus games, and he has two of those games are 200-plus yards. The only person I think that's in that conversation that many yards per game is, I think, Ty Frogel from Indiana. It's just unbelievable. He's number one in SEC punt return yards, and Saturday night, He got a punt return TD. He can just do it all. He is just so valuable and has contributed a lot of success into the offense for Alabama. And I don't expect him to digress. I mean, he's just continued to step up and step up. And I think what's going to solidify his chance is when it comes to the SEC championship game against Florida. He's going to put up some numbers, man, because Florida's defense is not really that great. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets another 200-plus yard game. And I think that's what's going to solidify his run for the Heisman. So I'm cheering for Devonta Smith, and I can't wait to see what happens moving forward for the rest of the season.